Hey guys, this is Craig Cosmo. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about a TV episode called What If Episode 2. So anyways, without further ado, let's begin with the story. So, in this story, it takes place in an alternate universe where T'Challa, instead of becoming the king of Wakanda, known as the Black Panther, T'Challa becomes a starlord where he travels around the space. Now before that happens, in a planet called Earth, in a city called Wakanda, T'Challa was a boy prince raised in Wakanda to become the future king. However, instead of just that, T'Challa ended up being abducted by Yondu and his crew, and where they ended up traveling into space, exploring into various different planets, galaxies, and stars out there in the universe. Meanwhile, in the present time, T'Challa, now known as Starlord, defeated a bunch of soldiers and then ended up recruiting the guy who was a big fan of Starlord. And then also in another part of the story is that where T'Challa was greeted by so many different aliens at a bar, and then I also get to see Drax, the Destroyer, who is now working as a bartender, and which is also takes place in an alternate universe, and which was pretty great and amazing. And then in another part of the story is where he met with a girl, an alien girl that he likes, which I forgot the name of this girl, but I believe that it was actually Thanos' daughter, and which is a very good story. So anyways, I won't spoil the rest of the story, but I'm going to talk about other things besides the story. So anyways, I'm done talking about the story. So now I want to talk about the dialogues. One of the things I like about the dialogue is that Yondu had a good relationship with T'Challa, who is now a Starlord in an alternate universe, and that they both had unique conversation between one another, where T'Challa then asked Yondu about the space, about the planet, and which they both, form a relationship between one another, and that was a pretty good dialogue. And another dialogue that I kind of like is that Thanos isn't kind of really evil in this alternate universe. Instead, he was kind of a good guy. He still is a Mad Titan, but not as a Mad Titan from the original timeline or from the original universe where he was mad. But in this version, like I said, he's not mad. He's kind of a good guy, where he got the help from T'Challa, the Star-Lord, who then convinced Thanos not to be evil, and that was a pretty good dialogue that I saw. But anyways, now that I'm done talking about the dialogues, I want to talk about the scenes that I absolutely like. Now, one of my favorite scenes that I like is that when Yondu and his crew ended up abducting the wrong boy, and that was a pretty funny scene that I absolutely like. And the best part about this scene is that those two alien crews didn't even know where Peter Quill is, and so they ended up taking T'Challa instead, and that was pretty funny. And another one of my favorite scenes that I absolutely like is that when Thanos pounded some of the alien bad guys with his fist, where he punches them, and that was pretty awesome. And then, of course, in another one of the scenes that I also like is that we get to see Howard the Duck in this one scene, and where they free Howard the Duck in this one part of the episode, and that was pretty good. So anyways, I'm done talking about the scenes that I like. Now I want to talk about some of the effects that I like. I like so many of these great effects where one of the characters, Gamora, if I made a mistake of mentioning her name, yeah, Gamora was the one who threw this green seed into the alien's mouth, and which apparently grew completely on the Celestial's head, and the plant started spreading all over the Celestial's head, and that was a pretty good scene and also good special effects. So anyways, now that I'm done talking about the effects and the scenes that I absolutely like, now I'm going to talk about my overall thoughts. Overall, I think this is a really good episode. The dialogues were great, the story was great, the characters were also good, and also a lot of good things. But anyways, yeah, it is still pretty good. So I'm going to give this rating of this episode 5 out of 5 for being a good episode. So anyways, this is Craig Cosmo. Have a good day. Bye.